does build up in our bodies. So very quickly, not an expansive range of motion, but just turn your head from side to side very slowly, like so. And when you do that, I want you to notice if either part of your neck has less range than the other. So 1 or 2 times, turn from side to side, and then something is going, so I'm going to ask you to keep your face forward, but turn your eyes, curve your eyes as far to the left as you can. And we're going to hold this. I know it's uncomfortable. And now we're going to release it. And so look back to the center, blink 2 or 3 times. Now, keeping your head straight again, look as far to the right as you can. And we're going to hold that for a few seconds. I know it's uncomfortable. Okay, now we're going to release it. Blink a couple times. Now, turn your neck again and see if the range is a little bit better. See if your range, see if some of that tension has left your neck. See if, yeah. You like that, don't you, girl? So
you're a magician.
So if you ever feel like, there's a lot of tension, because a lot of times we carry tension in our neck, especially being in front of computers and sitting down most of the day. Whenever you feel like there is something, that is kind of caught up in your neck, go ahead and do that. And so I wanted you all to just kind of enjoy that a little bit, to kind of get you ready ready to release whatever it is that you need to release, and be able to focus on the task at hand, so you're not too much worried about the range of motion in your neck. So usually when we talk about, or when we hear attachment, especially for my clinical folk, we usually think about the attachment styles, like the anxious attachment style, avoidant, secure. We're not going to do that today. This is totally different route. So in your journals, and this is all about us. This is all about us, because we talked about being comfort able. We talked about pain of purpose. We talked about blessings becoming burdens. We talked about weak ass advice. Okay. So this is about us. It's not about parents. It's not about jobs. It's about us. This is inner reflection. So on your paper, write down I am, and then insert your name after that. So for example, I would write down I am Nefertiri. Once you've done that, list at least 5 traits of who you are, but really dig deep with this one. At least 5. You can come up with more than that, but really dig deep. Now, as you wrap up your list, just kind of glance over them, because I want you to realize that these are the attachments that you have created for your life. These are the attachments that you have created for your life. So do not go back and change anything. You were led to write them for a reason, so let it stay. So usually what gives attachment strength is conditional love. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. Attachments get their strength from conditional love, and that isn't always a bad thing, but it becomes a bad thing when we lose awareness of our authentic selves. So think about it. Your attachment, you wrote down the list because there's some kind of condition that you know you've met, or some kind of condition, there's some kind of conditional love that you have for yourself that made you choose those traits. And that's fine again, but it becomes a bad thing when we lose awareness of our authentic selves. And so that leaves room for infiltration by other people's belief systems that we have subscribed to, and it becomes our voice. So when you look in the mirror each day, do you see those traits that you just described? If not, write down, what do you see? When you look in the mirror each day, do you see the traits that you described? If not, please be transparent with yourself and write down what you actually see. And this isn't just about physical appearance either. If you actually see what you have described, perfect. That's great. Don't give me that look, Casey. Okay. Next, I need you to write down what voice have you given your thoughts that describe what you see? What voice have you given your thoughts that describe what you see? Is it a soft voice? Is it demeaning? Is it critical? Is it forgiving? Is it coming from a place of tough love? Is it rough? Describe that voice. Because the voice is like the narration of your thoughts. Next, I want you to think about, have you ever felt the need to meet an expectation to be worthy of your own love? Have you ever felt the need to meet any kind of expectation to be worthy of your own love? Have you ever felt the need to meet an expectation to be worthy of your own love? So our attachments to the beliefs about self-acceptance, or even who we have defined ourselves to be, will become the norm. And we accept them as a part of who we are. And again, just know this isn't about physical appearance. So with that being said, what beliefs are you attached to that drive the way you see things in your life. Not anybody else's life, but your life. What beliefs are you attached to that drive the way you see things in your life? What beliefs are you attached to that drive the way you see things in your personal life? Next, think about if the beliefs that you have just identified, are they your beliefs or have you adapted those beliefs from someone else? Are they your beliefs or did you get them from someone else? Yes, they can be both yours and theirs. It can. Yep. However it fits your life. Now, out of those beliefs, whether it's yours, whether it's theirs, identify one of those that you promise to yourself that you will detach from in the next 6 months, that you will adamantly work on to detach from in the next 6 months. Nicole, we can like our beliefs, but are our beliefs healthy? Is it an attachment that makes us feel like we're not worthy of self-acceptance? But if your beliefs don't hit on that, then you're fine. But if they are an unhealthy attachment that you have, then because beliefs can make us feel safe, but when we really look at the volume of safety, is it practical for us? Is it appropriate? Lastly, so the question for the journal prompt, Cheryl, it was one attachment that you described, whether it's your belief or someone else's belief, one attachment or one belief that you will detach from within the next 6 months, one that you pledge to intentionally work on to detach from. So lastly, I am confident that releasing this attachment will improve my quality of life by. I am confident that releasing this attachment will improve my quality of life by, and you fill in the blank. This is your way. This is your why this is hopefully the purpose of you saying, okay, I have recognized that this is a belief that I want to detach from, and so I need to release this because my life will be so much better in this way. And naturally, everything on that list, those beliefs that you feel like you are attached to, one by one, go down that list. Because again, our attachment to beliefs about self-acceptance, if it's negative, even though we feel like it motivates us, but if it's negative, it becomes our norm. So we can blame social media, we can blame, whatever, but realistically, nothing has power over us unless we agree with the message. So anything that you find yourself attached to that is not serving you, even if it's a great relationship and you're still holding on to memories, but you have no space, no capacity, that's an attachment. But I wanted to make sure we kept it inner. This is about us. This is about what we see in ourselves. This is about being able to make space to be better. We're not holding on to things that don't belong to us, even if we gave it to ourselves. So remember, nothing has power over you unless you agree with its message. So I'm going to give the floor to you, Casey, if you have any feedback or if anybody wants to.
Girl, you messed me up. Okay, you messed me up. What? You good? Okay, you got to take this on the road now. You good? You good, girl? Woo! Okay, so I just want to share my reactions, and Aaliyah has her hand raised. I'm gonna let her come up and say whatever she wants to say. Um, because I'm actually enjoying this. I feel like I'm vulnerable, but clearly, I mean, my therapist wouldn't say I'm vulnerable. My therapist, she done worked hard, y'all, over the last 6 years, child. Okay, so okay, when you said to write 5 things that describe me, I said I am Casey, a protector, a teacher, a leader, deeply passionate. I am an artist slash creative.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you said that these are attachments, can be attachments from or these attachments can get their strength from conditional love, it messed me up immediately because all of these things are born out of my need to feel safe and respected and viewed as something worthy. And these are the things that people had the good connotation. Somebody said connotations earlier, like it has everything to do with how other people see me, right? Because I was the A student, I was the valedictorian of all of my schools, elementary, middle, high, like, and I'm still trying to unlearn that mess. Mm-hmm. Then when you said, sis, come on now, you gotta take this on the road, sis. Then when you said, when you look in the mirror, what do you see? How would you describe yourself? Immediately, without thinking, I said sensitive, fragile, seeking, learning, blooming. Completely different. But when I look in the mirror, that is what I see. I see how soft I am and how much protecting I need, and how fine of a line there is between me being broken, depressed, anxious, stressed, right, and me being whole. It's a very fine line. My baby knows that. Like, he works overtime to protect me, even from myself, But the world sees me as a warrior, right? And then I'm almost done, Leah. I'm about to pass you the mic, sis. And then when you said, what voice do I speak to myself, or what voice do I hear? I said soft and loving. 100%. It is so soft and loving. which is deep because the way I show up when I'm protecting people and caping hard for people and standing in the gap for people is very, very bold. It's very assertive. I do not flinch, you know? But the voice I hear in my head is way softer about myself, right? Just deep. Then when you said, have I ever felt the need to meet an expectation to be worthy of love? Absolutely. All caps, yes. Girl, yes. What beliefs am I attached to that drives the way I see things in my life?
Worthy of your own love, though.
Worthy of my own love. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm talking about, I mean, even when I left that dude, like I know I was doing the right thing, but I was mad at myself for years for choosing him. But it's like now I'm at like, girl, you were 16, girl, what are you talking about? Right? Like, yes, like there was so much self-loathing. I wanted to die. I literally didn't even feel like, I was like, if I could be this stupid, why am I here? What is the purpose of living? So I can just keep making dumb decisions. I was so, girl, like, what is the point? I really felt like that, right? Don't feel like that today, but yes, definitely been there. What beliefs am I attached to that drives the way I see things in my life? Productivity, hierarchy, scarcity, dominance, evolution, connectedness. And the last two are who I am, right? Like evolving, right? And the first four, which is your next question, are these my beliefs or did they come from someone else? Yes, somebody else. It was productivity, hierarchy, scarcity, dominance, like 100%. And evolution and connectedness is mine. Like I realize I'm connected to the soil and the air and it's deep. It ain't no scarcity in it, right? Identify one that I'm determined to like detach from over the next 6 months, productivity. And then lastly, I am confident that I can't read my own handwriting, but I am confident that releasing this attachment will improve my quality of life by giving me rest, peace, a clear mind, mental health, a free and safe relationship, and the ability to be present. Thank you so much, sis. I feel so good. I'm so proud of myself. I appreciate you. I'm bringing the Leah
good.
Up now. We can hear you, Aaliyah.
Okay, hey everybody.
Hey.
I said I am Aaliyah, and I thought of creative, soulful Sunday, intriguing, contagious, powerful. And then when you said the conditional love gives attachment strength, and what do I see when I look in the mirror? I thought of nakedness, fragility, and pain, sad, depth, power, resilience, and art. And it says, what voice have I given my thoughts that describe what I see? I said, I have given it a shaky voice, a childlike voice, sort of soft, not very assertive, but firm, sometimes timid even. And it says, have you ever felt the need to meet an expectation to be worthy of your own love? I said, yes, all the time. I'm still learning how to just love me as I am in every aspect of my life. And it says, what beliefs am I attached to that drives the way I see things in my life? I said that mistakes are who I am, not what I did. And then my second one was, I must die empty of all that God has placed inside of me. And but my second belief is something that came from me, from knowing God for myself and figuring out my spiritual journey on my own. But I said the first belief of the mistakes are who I am, not what I did. It probably came from my childhood, from my past relationship, my past friendships, my family condemning me so much when I do things or when I have shortcomings. And then I said, I promise to detach myself from that belief. And I am confident that releasing this attachment will improve my quality of life by allowing more love, healing, rest, tears, and joy into my life. I am not stuck in cycles of punishment or condemnation. I deserve great things. I deserve light, and I am worthy of great things coming from me, and to stop being surprised when great things come from me. And then I also wrote down your point that nothing has power over me unless I agree with the message. So I said all of the message that I don't agree with, stop giving them power, because I feel like a lot of things that are in my head I don't necessarily agree with anymore, but I still give them power because you'd be like, oh, it's been that way for so long. So it's like to unlearn those things is like an active thing I'm learning.
Mhm.
That's an everyday choice to remind myself like that's not true. You don't even believe that about yourself. Like I can write affirmations every day, and if my grandma or my mama or somebody say some one little thing to me, it'll stick on me all day, and it'll be like, now why you let them people bust your bubble and you just build it up, you know, to stop letting other people throw a rock and crumble it.
Mhm.
Be more
Mhm.
solid in what I'm learning about myself, what I believe and love about myself. So I definitely thank you for providing this space for me to release that. I'm really big on journaling, so I appreciate that. So I'm trying to make that no longer my burden.
There it is. There it is. Thank you so much, Aaliyah, for, sharing that, because I know there's quite a few of us that have family members that will say one thing, and we know in our heart of hearts it's not truth, but we still allow it to, and because we gave it that power, we believe some little tiny iota of it because we've been programmed to believe that. So the fact that you voiced yourself, even though you say you have a very shy, timid, your voice that you hear is very shy and timid, but right now, speaking through your truth, it was very assertive and firm. So please congratulate yourself on that. Please do.
Thank you so much, Aaliyah. So good. We did it, sis. Girl, you bad. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you, girl, I didn't know how you was gonna do this in 30 minutes after what we did for an hour yesterday. You good. You
Well, I
good.
appreciate you. I appreciate you.
That girl bad, y'all. Woo woo. All right. Well, um, this was powerful. I want to make sure that we usher y'all into the Buy Black Market, usher y'all into the lounge where y'all can kick back and cool it with each other. You do not have to go home. This is not closed at all. It will stay open 24/7 until Friday. So really not 24/7, 24/5. Okay. Um, but Neff, as we leave, I want to ask you one question which came from Alyssa. I'm going to ask the tail end of it.
Okay.
She usually describes the fact that she assumes maybe that many of us might have written down traits that define ourselves in terms of what others, right, or in terms of what we do for others, right,
Mhm.
versus just how we see ourselves. And she wants to know what that means for those who've done that, right? So if we wrote down traits that are anchored in what we do for others,
Okay.
what does that
So
particularly mean?
usually, so now getting actually into attachment style, that is where you could find, okay, if you are anchored in such servitude all the time, then that means who you are outside of that really needs some nurturing, because if you automatically go to what you do for others or what you think others have described you as, then that's where majority of your energy is spent. That means that takes a little bit more of a priority in your life than it should, because I get it when people ask us to describe ourselves, especially if we've gone on job interviews and we feel like we have to sell ourselves, and it's hard to say great things about ourselves, but that I would suggest that being the norm of you thinking of you, because that is a part of self-care. That is a part of self-preservation and self-inclusion.
Yeah. Ashe. Thank you so much for that, Neff. You all make sure you go to the booths. I'm just gonna say the top three. It ain't over. 15 people will win, but the top three on the leaderboard right now. Don't be mad at me, but Tiffany holding it down. Okay, she has a 2,000 point lead, a little more than that. Tiffany Brown, Sharita has slid into number 2, and then Winnie Quick is number 3. Keep going, y'all. 5 days, 15 spots will win. Some folks have started broadcast in their booth. So Women Who Matter too, y'all, we love us some Auntie June. Go over there and check her out. She is super, 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 super dope. That's the Women Who Matter 2 booth. it looks like NPO Creations has started a live broadcast. She makes a lot of dope things. I'm talking about fedoras and bags and art and all kinds of super dope things. New Heritage has started a live broadcast. They have 90s gear. Super dope story with her. I also met her at the Fearless Fun Summit a couple of months ago. Her business was started by her family members in the NYC area, right, with 90s gear, and it was like booming. Literally did it for the culture in a very big way. And she picked it up. I think it was her uncle's business. She picked it up recently and she brought it back, still, giving homage to 90s gear. So love her story, love what she's doing. Check her out. But yeah, y'all enjoy, y'all have a good time. Some people made a table for the VAs for 5:30. So, enjoy. I'll holler at y'all. Ness, you got anything else you want to say, Mama?
Hey, we always say Black girl magic, so let's be that. Let's be it.
Ashay.
Y'all
Let's
have
be
a good
it.
night.
Yeah, Yvonne, thanks. Said good night. Yeah, I'm going to bed. It's 1 a.m. for me, so I'm going to bed. But y'all have a good time. Love and light to y'all. See y'all tomorrow morning. Bye. Peace.